Hey, it's Jason from Pro Guitar Studio. Welcome back. Today we're going to do something a bit different. So usually every week I'll write a piece of music, show you how to play it, and we'll talk about a certain technique or something that I want you to focus on that I'm showing you in that piece, right? But today we're going to actually look at the guitar, so the electric guitar or acoustic guitar, and how we can manipulate the sounds a little bit. So my opening demo there was just showing you how we can change the sound based on which pickup we're using. So we're using like the neck pickup, which is this one right here, versus the neck and bridge combined, versus the bridge pickup. Now each guitar is going to be a bit different, obviously. So I have humbuckers here. I have a different amp setup than you might have. So yours might be a little bit different, but the idea here is to get you thinking about what your guitar and your gear will sound like if you do this kind of stuff I'm going to talk about here today. So the first thing I was doing there, I'm talking about different pickups, but I also am showing you the sound changes when we pick in different spots, right? So I'm picking here versus over here. Totally different sound. So I use that all the time. So when I'm playing, I'm constantly adjusting where I'm picking based on what I'm playing and what I want it to sound like. I'm constantly changing my pickups, and just sort of talk today a bit about why I'm doing those kind of things, and maybe get a discussion going of what how this would help you. So first off, if I'm using my neck pickup, so this one right here, if I'm strumming near the neck, sorry, I'm on the bridge pickup there. If I'm on the neck pickup and strumming near the neck, it's going to be a softer, more mellow sound. So this is really nice if you're strumming open chords, for example. Arpeggiating the chords. That kind of stuff, right? Now if I'm picking over here with the same pickup, same idea, it works really good for chords, but you can use that to your advantage. Let's say you come to a heavy passage, or you're playing the same chords I'm doing there. You want it to get heavy? You can change where you're picking to give it a heavier sound. So when you strum near the bridge, it's a little more in your face then, near the neck. And sometimes I even strum on the neck. I know it seems a little funny, but like if I'm doing chords, you'll often see me do that. Because if I want a softer sound, then a little less clucky, I'll come over here. 7th chords. They can sound really nice when you pick them on the actual fretboard, which not for everyone. So if you're worried about your fretboard getting damaged, that kind of stuff, I mean, my guitar is totally fine, but I totally get it why you might not want to do that. Okay, so neck pickup, great for strumming chords, for picking single notes within chords, and also if you're playing high leads, right? So if you're playing lead guitar and we're playing up here, sometimes you don't want it to be so ice picky. So that's on the bridge pickup there, but I go to the neck. Sounds a little more manageable, right? So the neck pickup I'll use for higher notes. You think of like Sweet Child of Mine from the Guns N' Roses. Obviously it's actually back 1 fret because they tune down, but you get the idea. So in that intro piece, I wouldn't want the bridge pickup. It's a little too brash, a little too in your face, right? So the neck definitely comes into play there, and that's my preference for stuff like that, right? But now when you're on low notes, if we're doing some kind of low, like, or even trying to do some power chord stuff, that'll punch out more if you use your bridge pickup. So lower riffs, if you look like Day Tripper from the Beatles. Part of that sound, to me anyways, comes from using the bridge pickup and picking near the bridge versus the neck. Like, so that versus. Right, so there's definitely distinct differences there, but depending on what you're playing, you can play around with it. Experiment, figure out what sounds good for your guitar. Now the in-between position, that is good. I mean, for chords, great for chords. It's going to be a little less soft compared to just the neck pickup. So we're bringing in some characteristics of the bridge. But I find it great for strumming too. So if I'm doing like bar chords, something funky, like that works really nicely. Like the neck might be a little too dark, so. And you'll hear if I play around with like. Totally changes the sound based on where I'm strumming or picking, right? So the in-between, I'll use that more often than not. Personally, I'll use either the neck or the bridge. And I'm a big fan of Telecasters for that reason, because there's only two pickups. Strats sound great. I just tend to play more guitars that have only two pickups for whatever reason. So I'm really used to that. And typically I'm not in the middle. So for whatever reason, I'm typically on the neck or the bridge. The only caveat to that is if I'm playing a Telecaster and it's not noiseless, often I'll go to the middle position if I need to, if it's very noisy, if I'm around some LED lights that add some noise in there, or if I'm recording something that just has a little too much gain and I don't want that extra feedback or extra hum, right? So those are things you can think of. But what I'd like to know about you, if you want to let me know in the comments below, how you use your guitar. So like, when do you use your neck pickup? When do you use your bridge pickup? And do you switch between them? So if I had to make a choice, I think I would be more of a bridge only player, although I do use both, I'd say equally. If I had to have one choice, someone could give me like, a single, say a Les Paul Junior, I could get away with that. And that'll definitely be different depending on what kind of player you are. Some people prefer the neck only and will only play with the neck pickup. Like I said, I do use both, but if I had to choose one, it would be the bridge pickup myself. So what would you choose? What would be your favorite pickup? And also, if you're playing a Strat or Tele style, this guitar here, this is a Washburn N4, only has basically three positions. So we have our neck, our in-between, and our bridge, right? And I only have a volume on that, so no tone. So that's going to bring in a lot more variation to your sound. And if you're playing a Gibson, you're going to have two volumes, two tones, as well as your pickup selector. So there's a lot of different options you can get, a lot of ways you can change the sound. So this is a very simple concept here that I'm going over, because I'm not playing with the Gibson where we have those four different options to change around. So on the Gibson, when you're on the in-between position, you can mix in each pickup and mix in the tone. So there's a lot of things you can do there to change the sound of whatever you were playing. And I'd say it's a little more nuanced in that sense, because you can have different pickup characteristics coming out just a little bit, as opposed to full on just mixing the two together, right? So with, let's say the Gibson, you can bring in just a little bit of the bridge pickup when you're playing in the middle and just get a bit of that brightness, instead of right now where it's both together, right? And again, if you're playing single coils, it'll change the sound of your guitar too. So just keep that in mind as we're going through this. But this is stuff that I think of all the time. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, let me know below. And if you like videos like this, also let me know, because usually I do videos where we're actually learning a piece of music and then working through that. But if you like videos like this where we're talking about gear and talking about different techniques, totally down to make more videos like this. If you enjoyed, give me a thumbs up, subscribe so you can catch more videos just like this, and I'll see you soon.